Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to a new episode of Hades 1.
A death-like pallor emanates now from the arms of night, or one of them at least. Their fate-wrought thirst to separate immortal souls laid bare.
The gathering of ancient bones.
Alrighty, so we have unlocked the Dark Thirst, or whatever it's called in this game, that will allow us to get extra bones every time we clear a run. We're not taking any heat because we were taking my worst weapon, and we don't have a testament linked to this weapon right now anyway. We're just taking it for the grasp, and I'm okay with that.
So besides whatever innate satisfaction there may be in beating up that nasty old Titan, is there a grander plan in all of this for what we're going to do? Your little godling brother, is he going to be all right?
I appreciate that she's worried about Zag. Alright.
Through divination of the elements, I see it now.
Elements revealed. You can now see the essence of Olympian boons. These essences include earth, water, air, and fire, and perhaps more. While these have no innate benefit, Olympians will sometimes offer powerful infusion boons that grow stronger with your elemental essences. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we are going to take her Flutter Strike, which empowers our attack as long as we are close by 80%, which is a pretty sizable modifier. And what we're going to do is we're going to build around Lyn and Oros' Omega attack, which causes us to teleport behind an enemy as long as we're in range, and do a pretty meaty attack. And basically we're going to go in and then dash out, and that's going to be the crux of our build for this run, at least in theory. An early Hermes boon I may as well take. I don't really... There are some boons you can offer that probably aren't the strongest for our build, but the one downside is, actually, you know what we could use? We could definitely use Channel Your Omega Attacks Faster, which Hermes could offer us. And admittedly, I don't have the Arcana card that lets me do that, so that was a mistake on my part now that I think about it out loud. Can we please? Okay, that was a lot of unnecessary damage there.
You made it pretty far down there before. Impressive work. I knew you had it in you, but Graham still isn't backing down, is he? Maybe he's having second thoughts at least.
Okay. Omega moves are 15% faster, or Mean Streak gives us 2% damage every time we kill every time we slay a foe, which would be nice for the trash mob rooms and for the lack of base damage we have on this weapon. I still think we're going to take Racing Thoughts. 15% isn't a lot, but it'll make us a little bit faster, especially since I am not running the Arcana card that would offer a similar benefit. So, ultimately though, I think realistically what I want most of all is just Trick Knives. Trick Knives is probably one of the best hammers that you can get, especially if you're building around both attack and special to some amount. That, or at least something that makes us do more damage to armor, because armored enemies are still going to be a problem on this run.
All is possible.
We don't really need max magic, so it's a little bit of a bummer that we're getting rooms like that, but we'll take what we can get. Anyway, so it is very almost Christmas time, Kiwi. Very almost Christmas time. That definitely helps date this episode, right? A non-specific dating of sorts. Well, admittedly, I wasn't really planning on recording, but our internet is out and has been out for like the last half hour, and that really threw a monkey wrench in my original plan, so here I am recording. Forgive me if I'm not completely myself about it. Let's see. Apollo isn't bad, but not really what I want, but that said, we don't have anything to afford. We can't afford any boons right now, so I'm gonna... Oh, well, that was the hit I could have avoided. For now, I'm going to take out your friends because I know I'm very prone to getting hit by their attacks. I will say this build that I have planned works way better on aspect of Mel than just base Lyn and Oros, so it may be something that we come back to and try again when I have a bit more in the way of actual redeemable aspects. But unfortunately, until we unlock the aspect weapons, we are running just the baseline of every weapon, which is a bit rougher.
They're saying you got Kronos, didn't you, Sunshine? Last night, at least, but that's the Deathless Titans for you. Never staying down for long. Though you've something in mind for that, my sister says.
No spoilers yet, Apollo. Okay, thank you for actually giving us your dash for a change. We'll take that. We sprint 20% faster, and most importantly, we inflict daze, which gives enemies a 20% chance of missing.
Deep, impenetrable gloom surrounds the underworld princess that not even her infernal eye can easily discern what horrors lie therein.
If I can't see into the shadows, I'll cut through.
So we still need to get a second curse for origination. We still need to get some magic regen, although our Omega attack really doesn't use that much in the way of magic yet, so it's not a priority. And then, what else did we need? Honestly, I think most of all I just want a second curse. Demeter isn't bad here because she'll offer freeze, which will give us a little bit of extra safety, particularly on a melee weapon. And as I've proven, I am taking damage left and right with it.
In the name of Hades.
My Omega attack plan hasn't really happened. Also, I guess it's worth mentioning that Demeter would offer us Weed Killer, which would empower our Omega attack. This was already rare, right? Oh, shoot, I forgot to rarefy the attack. So this is my first time actually having a God Keepsake on, and I forgot that I can rarefy boons. Oh well. I guess we'll take her... Rapture Ring isn't bad, and it does apply weak. Glamour Gain, we are going to be near enemies a lot, so I think I'll take that for now.
Certainly.
And then we'll go for the Ash. This is definitely not the best run, I will admit that. I don't think my build idea is bad, but we definitely need some hammers to help out. And I just need more practice with the weapon as a whole. I've definitely avoided it a little bit more than I probably should have on my original playthrough. And basically I only played one aspect that plays very different from how this weapon plays. The other two aspects on this weapon that I have unlocked right now
Ashes.
play similarly. Let's get that palm on the attack. Or Apollo... What? So I don't think Apollo offers anything too huge in terms of what I want for this build.
Some sort of gateway on the
Oh,
ground.
hello there, Chaos. It is so good to see you again. All right, so I know we've seen it in our early access playthrough, but Chaos, in my opinion, got such a huge glow up. Oh, and we're getting an Artemis boon. Excellent.
time.
All right, this is a very good room for us. I'm glad I chose not to take Apollo, I guess. Also, something worth noting is that Artemis will never show up in a room where there are god boons. So if you want to see her, you're gonna have to take some of those minor rewards, or at least non-god boon rewards, which I did not know until I think Halion mentioned it in one of his videos.
Nice shot.
Again, Halion is probably the only, I would say Boded and I think it's Silenced are two other Hades runners that I watch sometimes, mostly for their higher heat runs. We'll go ahead and toss this onto the attack and get a nice 25% damage
Sister
increase on it.
Artemis.
All right, Artie, let's go ahead and give you a gift.
It's been a pleasure to have worked more closely with you, Sister Artemis. This is hardly worth the gift of impeccable precision, though I wanted you to have it.
Doing the old traditions now, are we? Well, sure, then I accept your offering, Sister Melenoi, and I've an offering for you in kind.
I'm not good enough to use her keepsake just yet.
Truly, you're the best.
Called the White Antler. The way it works is it gives you crit chance, but it gives you a pretty hefty amount of crit chance, but it drops your max HP to 30, so it's really rough if you don't have
found
armor.
Kronos, sank your fangs into his throat. Sister Hecate gave me the gist. How'd you do it? Found some exploitable weakness, something like that?
I disassembled
Mostly I
them.
just kept evading a lot. He's very powerful, but must have underestimated my ability to resist his tricks.
She's not wrong. We did use evade for like at least the first 2 wins.
He won't always underestimate you, though. Must have his vulnerabilities. The old are seldom wise and often weak, right? He's bloodied. Go for the kill.
Yeah, screw old people. Gosh, Artemis, that's kind of rough. Let's see, after your dash, your Omega moves may deal critical damage for 2 seconds. That would work really well for our build, actually. I think I'll take that. So, Shadow Pounce. After your dash, Omega moves may deal critical chance for a 10% chance for 2 seconds.
Very well.
And then some...
Go unseen.
Oh, I mean, I need to take
Hunting.
that Chaos Gate because, I mean, it's our first encounter with Chaos. We have to. But that hammer would be really the room I'd definitely prefer taking.
It wants some of my life essence before letting me in. Ugh, fine. It's only blood.
Yeah, our brother has plenty to spare.
Where in the... Who in the... What sort of boon is this in such a place? Well, in the name of Hades, Olympus, are you there?
Olympus cannot hear you, Spawn of Hades, but I can. And I have for you a proposition. Assist with a quandary of mine and benefit. Your response.
Okay, so like, I think Chaos's design in both games is phenomenal, but there's something incredible about a Eldritch Horror-esque cosmic entity wearing a pantsuit. That's just awesome. And I mean, like, the undershirt with the like moving eye and the cosmos, it's such a cool design. I love this design so much. Probably my favorite design out of every god in the game, or every character in the game, frankly, except for Dora. Still just I don't know, I'm a ghost type trainer.
Almighty Chaos. I'm honored to make your acquaintance. What sort of quandary would concern the origin of all existence? And how do I fit in?
Oh no, Kiwi, am I making the extrapolation that Dora is actually a Pokemon? Because I don't think I should go that route. I shouldn't.
Time shall tell. But at present, I have inferred that your response, in essence, was affirmative. Thus may our newly formed arrangement prove most interesting. Accept my mark and go. And later I shall open the abyss for you again.
Alright, what do we get? Gain 2 elementals, gain 15% sprint, or gain max magic. And then alternative. Okay, we can make this work. If you have not cleared 3 encounters in 2 minutes, you take 500 damage. The only downside is we're almost guaranteed to fight Hecate, and that's going to eat up a lot of this time limit, so I've got to be mindful of that. Sprinting faster isn't bad, but I don't think I use that well with this build, and the max magic we don't really need. So yeah, I think we take the infusions here. So if you have not cleared 3 encounters in 120 seconds, you take 500 damage. Afterwards, gain 2 of every element, including the chaos element, apparently.
Just have to live with the side effect for now.
All right, so this will be our first encounter. So I just have to play like a speedrunner, which means I'm going to take more damage than I probably need to. Oh, the good news is because we got Glamour Gain, we do actually have Origination now, which ups our damage pretty sizably. I'm not really prioritizing using my Omega attack just because I don't need it to kill enemies. It's actually slower to go for the Omega attack right now, except maybe on armored enemies, which have a lot more HP. Like these big guys I probably want to use it on, but not much else. All right, so that's encounter 1. We used up a quarter of our time. There's Hecate. All right, we'll go for the boon. I hope to see Zeus, because I'd love to put him on my special. Estia isn't bad either. We could go for her cast here. Do I take the Palm Slice? I don't, because I won't be able to afford the boon.
You must have had an excess of those golden coins that Kronos strewed across the land. To tempt the greediest of mortals, I suppose. Or the poorest. Not for me to judge.
All right, let's see. So there's her special. I think, yeah, we take her cast here, I think. Does Scorch 40 damage every 1 second, which isn't a lot of damage, but it's one more way we can apply Origination, and it's a good solid side damage sort of thing.
You can sense it, can't you, my lord? The mark of primordial chaos. It seems I have another patron from the ranks of the chthonic gods.
It's a good thing that timer doesn't tick down while we're talking to NPCs, or this would be really rough. Alrighty, Hecate, here we go. She's gonna eat up most of our time.
Compose yourself. Hermes urged me to address a certain matter with you here. However, my view is you are unprepared for the surface as of yet.
Meaning you won't lift the wards barring the path to the surface? What if I remove them myself? I've seen how you do it.
Then you'll be more prepared than you are now. Till then, remember your objective lies below, past me.
All right, we run up, we do a... Oh, we already got it. Okay, I thought we got that if we beat her. Okay. I missed her with the cast, which isn't ideal. I'm prioritizing just getting what damage I can, but I'm trying to play safe. I can't likely afford to do so. Oh. All right, we have 9 HP left. Is that the real one? That is not the real one. I'm gonna wait till she stops firing at us. As long as well, okay, we are 1 HP left. I really would not... All right, you are the real one. I saw you move. You can't fool me. I am desperately trying not to take damage here. Okay, phase 1 done. Wait for her witchies to spawn, and I can use my cast to take them out. My special is not enough damage to kill them, so I do need to hit them with something else. Okay, there we go. Use my cast to get through that, because that would have absolutely demolished me. I really, if I can, want to try and save my Death Defiance for the Chaos Pop here, because I don't think we're going to out... Oh, yeah, the timer's about to pop in the boss fight. Unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, as long as I just need to make sure I use the Death Defiance for the Chaos Boon. Otherwise, I will have a very disappointing immediate death on this fight. This is fine, Chaos. We took your boon. I assume we still get the boon even if we run out of time, because that would be really unfortunate if we didn't. Okay, there's the death. We have strength active now, so we're going to do a lot more damage. I actually wonder, do we have the Chaos Boon, or did we fail the trial and therefore we don't get the boon? I need to know.
Good. You have grown physically quite strong, but spiritually more is to be done. The Altar of Ashes. There is an incantation that may make your nightly meditations at it better spent.
Oh, good. We're getting our Arcana upgrades already.
The consecration of ashes.
So just like in Hades 1 with the mirror, we can upgrade our Arcana cards, and we're going to benefit a lot from that, actually. Pardon me as I blow my nose. Sorry about that. I drank a bunch of coffee right before I... Yeah, we do get it. Okay, awesome. So we used our Death Defiance in the best way possible because we had 1 HP left anyway.
Why, here comes our shadowy assassin on her nightly escapade to try and do me harm. Although perhaps the outcome shall not be so fortunate this time.
I'm just glad we took Death Defiance for this run, honestly, because that could have been we could have ended it in Hecate, which would have been embarrassing for me, personally.
We'll soon find out, won't we? I promise not to keep you waiting long. I'm well on my way already, as you can see.
Like, I don't want to throw any shade against anyone who loses against Hecate in the early game, especially the early game. She's not an easy boss. I've fought her so many times and she's the first boss, and first boss syndrome is definitely real in Hades 1. The more you fight something, the better you get at her patterns, right?
Oh, that I can. Then I had best return and make ready. We have to tidy up for your arrival, after all. Until later tonight.
Anyway, I chugged a whole cup of coffee right before starting to record, and it turns out that warm drink is ramping up mucus production. So my apologies for having to pause there a little bit, but I think it'll benefit the long-term recording, although it seems like I might have to do it again at some point.
Within the sopping, blackest pits of Oceanus reside horrors that the greatest mortal or immortal poets could not possibly describe.
Don't sell yourself short, Homer.
Oh. Alrighty, so yeah, of course we would have had a pretty short room after Hecate, but you know that is always the risk-reward system of Chaos, is that you you don't know what rooms you're going to be facing, and especially right before a boss fight, it's not always the wise to take Chaos Boons. I will unfortunately have to admit that Chaos feels a lot weaker in this game, almost to the point where I don't prioritize them nearly as much as I used to. We prioritize HP here. We're going to need some survivability, especially since we're still sitting on a whole max HP of 50, which when Ares inevitably shows up in Tartarus is not going to do much for us against Kronos. But on the bright side, that's a whole extra 50. Oh, hello, you're a lot of things. That's a whole extra 50 HP, so very quickly we are in a much better spot. We literally doubled our HP. Not bad. And we have a shop. Unfortunately, I can't afford a God Boon unless it's a Mystery Boon. I will take it if it's a Mystery Boon, mind you. Or we go for the Afro Boon in a boss fight. I mean, there are boons that Afro offers that I would really like, so I think we go that route. Not my favorite mini-boss, but I think when I did this boss fight in Early Access, I had a lot of trouble fighting it, but I think they slowed down its attack patterns as a whole, so it's a lot easier and much more telegraphed, so just gotta bail out when it goes swinging and give my distance to that. I'm really looking for its neck to kind of bend backwards that, because then I bail out, and then I go back in, and we're kind of rinse and repeat here. Shame I wasted my cast, but there it is. Gonna swing, so I bail out, and then I go back in, try and get as much damage on it as possible, and now its armor is broken, so we just stun it to death. There we go.
It took me for simple prey.
The mini-bosses up until the Morning Fields aren't too bad, I would say. Spiritual Affirmation or Shameless Attitude, both of these are very tempting. The real question is, what do I benefit from more? A 7 to 14% damage increase, or just 20% more HP and magic? I think I'm going to take the damage up, because that'll scale really well with Origination and Strength Guard activated. So we'll do that first.
Yes.
It's only a difference of 5% on the Shameless Attitude boon, the one that gives us increased max magic and HP. And I think I'd rather have more damage than HP here, because it's, again, I will maintain, especially in Hades in particular, more damage means you kill things faster, therefore you die less quickly. Kiwi, I know our views on that differ substantially, but then again, the way you play your Souls-like games might argue to the contrary on that viewpoint, on you having a differing viewpoint from me. I guess if you can dodge better, you're happy. You will never use consumables, though. That's kind of a hard, fast rule for both of us. Neither of us ever use consumables in RPGs, and we arguably absolutely should. Oh, that's cute. Oh, she's talking about the steam vents. I thought she was talking about the Hestia cast. Relevant either way, but misdirected in my understanding. All right, so, oh, hello. Right now, I'm just trying to kite these guys into my cast. Their armor makes them very scary, and we've proven in previous runs that they can do a lot of damage rapid fire, and I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. All right, we're making steady progress. I was saying, so Chaos definitely feels weaker in this game. They have 13 different buffs they can offer compared to a much smaller number in Hades 1, and you can feel it because the odds of getting the boons that you really could benefit from are disappointingly few and far between a lot of the time. Like, I rarely see a special or attack or cast damage up from them, and it sucks because, again, Chaos was such a enticing god in the original playthrough, or in the original game, and it's just not nearly as tempting to take their boons now. Oh. All right, let's see. Ooh, 2% more damage or 20 more damage base on the cast. I think we take Shameless Attitude because this will affect where the core of our damage is coming from, and it affects the cast, so 25 max HP isn't bad here. We just don't have a way of regenerating it easily. We need some sort of HP regeneration boon. So I think this is the mid shop, or the end shop rather. I think we still take. I'm gonna save my money for a Centaur Heart that I can actually get HP from. Poseidon as our last god is really unappealing here. We've already got Hestia, Aphrodite, and Apollo, so we do need our fourth god, but it's gonna be either, it has to be Zeus, or I'd honestly not be upset with Hephaestus, because he'd give us some good defensive boons. So I think what we do here is, let's roll for that Palm Slice. It hit our dash, which is objectively the worst option it could have hit. We'll take the HP, and we can still afford a boon in the next floor.
Look at him.
This is gonna be a rough fight for me, I think.
Lady, welcome back. So who's this knight you're working for? And who else has she signed? She sounds intense.
Nyx is pretty intense when she wants to be. You're not wrong.
I spoke of the one and only knight, whose presence fills the underworld and surface. She is one of the eldest primordial powers, yet the Titan Kronos thought he could stop her.
Ooh, sounds like some healthy competition. Well, if this knight really wants us to sign with her, she'd better make a good offer. Else Mr. Kronos might snatch up all the talent.
So she name drops Kronos here, and the question is, does Scylla actually work for Kronos, or is she just kind of here vibing and we just keep interrupting her performances? I don't actually know for certain. All right, so we always go for Roxy first because she is a right pain to deal with, and we can keep her in the cast as much as possible. So this is what I'm worried about, is that I'm gonna get clipped by a lot of, ooh, that was close. Keep origination on her as much as possible, and just, yeah, our damage is lacking, and that always feels to be the way that Lyn and Oros plays in the early game, unfortunately. And to be clear, I don't think Poseidon is bad in this game. I said it in a previous episode. Poseidon is very much, you need to build around him and kind of have your build centered on him, and he doesn't really benefit from being like a secondary god. And, pardon me. And that is hard to do when he shows up as your fourth god, you know? Because obviously he's now the last god in your build. You haven't planned around him until this very moment. Unfortunately, Scylla is invulnerable to back attacks, so building around a Omega attack on her does not work with this weapon either. I like that when she winds up to attack, you hear her microphone screen a little bit, but it is triggering some PTSD from Signalas, not gonna lie. It's the what was it? The Colibris, I think they were called. Oh, I'm gonna get hit by that. I think my dash got stopped by something actually there, but there was the sound effect that the Colibris played when they were like messing with your brain, and my goodness, is that not triggering me right now? Unfortunately, Scylla spamming her AoE here does not make it easy to attack Roxy, but, oh, hello. I don't think I've actually seen her use that pattern and consciously recognize it, but that was easy enough to dodge. Again, Roxy is our zoner. If we kill her, we don't have to feel pressured into being in one specific spot while we're fighting the other two. makes them a lot more manageable. I feel like it wouldn't be bad to get the back attack damage up from Apollo's boon, so I might aim for that. But again, I think as long as it's not Poseidon, I'll literally take any other god at this point. Demeter would work for our build. Zeus would be amazing, especially if we get a good hammer to get a good hammer to apply Blitz. It's really just Poseidon I don't want. He isn't even bad, that's the thing. Like, he just doesn't fit the way I want to play this build, is really how it boils down. What it boils down to. All right, one more hit, and bam. Okay. Oceana's cleared.
Finally.
I wouldn't say we're in a great spot, but we're not in a bad spot either, I would argue. Definitely want more HP. Hopefully Aphrodite shows up. I missed that talking point. Oops. We also don't have Keepsake, so I don't get an extra Death Defiance on this run. Pardon me. I would love to have had Skelly's Keepsake. It honestly may be better to just stick with Lucky Tooth until I unlock the Keepsake. What are they called? I forget the name of the actual item.
Mustn't stay for long.
I think we have custom dialogue with this, right?
It's watching me.
Yeah, it is. This is such a creepy aesthetic right here. Just like a fallen Olympian statue with invasive parasitic vines and roses. I will admit, I have always thought the aesthetic of like parasitic flowers to be incredibly cool.
So many mortal lives left unfulfilled.
Because it's both horrifying and beautiful all at the same time, usually.
Amid the overgrowth near to the lowest reaches of the underworld, lurk the innumerable souls who cling to shreds of love and hope that long since ceased to be.
It's rather bleak down here.
You guys have bloody rose eyes, I think. Oh, all of the eyes here are bloody. Definitely a little creepy aesthetic here. I am appreciative of the minor details that I somehow have not noticed up until now. I'm going to save this armor for later. I'm going to come back and grab it because it'll be very useful. I'm inevitably going to take some damage here, and I'd rather have it going into the next room. Especially with so many encounters ahead of us. I need to be careful about these guys because they can absolutely wreck me just by being in melee distance. These guys are, I will say, these are probably the equivalent of the chariots from Hades 1, and they are so much more manageable. Granted, I haven't fought them with the, what is it, the forced overtime equivalent, the movement speed up and attack speed up. I don't know what they're like with those. Once they get those, and if we have like a vow, oh, well, of course I could see that coming. I hate these shadow casting enemies. They're so obnoxious. Can we please? All right, I'm gonna run in, drop my cast, and kill that. Okay, good. I haven't fought them with Vow of Rival, or not Vow of Rivals, Vow of, is it Frenzy, I think? I haven't messed around with the Vow of Rivals, or the Oath of the Unseen, that's what it's called, very much yet, which is, it's the Pact of Punishment from Hades 1, basically. It's the way to incrementally make your game more difficult for yourself. We still don't have a single hammer to our name. Anyway, I haven't messed around with it enough. I think I have done a 32 fear clear, I'm pretty sure, at least on the underworld, I want to say. I don't think I've done it on the surface yet. Maybe I have, I don't know. It's admittedly been a while since I've played my personal file. All right, there we go. So we've got an HP, a palm. We'll go for the HP first because it doesn't matter whether I take it now or later. The armor doesn't scale with our HP, so it doesn't matter which I take first. There are some things that do, so I do have to be mindful of that in some instances, but rarely is it the case that it matters. I don't actually know which is more viable, taking a heal or a Centaur Heart first. There's maybe it doesn't matter, but I imagine there is a way to subtly optimize it that in the long run probably doesn't have the most substantial effect, but who knows. We'll go ahead and take that palm. Please on the attack. Of course not. Shameless Attitude, though, another 2% at our higher HP threshold. I mean, 10% universal damage up is a very solid and tempting offer. One of the reasons why I'm taking the armor now rather than earlier is because we will likely get some passive healing here. I am not going to take a mini-boss when I have a hammer on the table. Unfortunately, this does lock us into Poseidon, which is really unideal, but such is life. Poseidon heard no, and Poseidon said yes. Very Poseidon of him, indeed. There's our hammer. We're going to take that right away. I'm going to move to an area where I'm not surrounded by thorns that I will walk face first into and take a bunch of unnecessary damage. Remember when I said we were going to build around our Omega attack and then I just stopped using it altogether? I do, as well. I also remember that because I'm doing it. I'm proving that case right now. I'm scared of you. I am so scared of these Lycaeans. They can do a lot of damage if I'm not careful. But now that we've gotten them burst down, yep. I didn't have a dash. I couldn't get out of that, unfortunately. It was only 8 damage, but it's still... that's a third of our armor, so you know. I am sorry. I am learning that I should have poured more almond milk into that coffee, because I am just... My nose and the back of my throat are just running now. And it sucks, because I don't want to have that during a recording. I'm literally gagging on mucus. Hidden knives, sure slot. All right, let's see. So final slice. The last strike of your attack sequence does 300 damage in a larger area. We may take that because that'll scale really well with Aphrodite's boon. Hidden knives. Your specials deal 20% more damage and your Omega special fires 3 shots. Don't like that. Surefire flurry. Your Omega special fires each shot dead ahead of you and your specials have 30% range. That could actually be really decent for us. I could be tempted by that, but I think final slice just makes more sense for the way I'm playing. That's going to be a very juicy final hit. I won't be able to get it off every time. Prophecy foretold. Okay. The other thing that's worth mentioning, they do this with several of the weapons, is if you dash in between your combo, the final hit of your combo still goes up. So like, this is the full attack combo, and then if I dash, there's the big final hit still. All right, so we still haven't gotten the hammer that we really would benefit from, but we did get something that might sort of work. And at the very least, it's good damage. It's definitely some very solid damage. My main goal is to just make sure that I don't take damage here, and he says as he dashes right into the enemy's AoE. All right.
Now my reward.
Take the ash, kill these guys. Again, these guys may drop some coin, which is the main reason why I go out of my way to kill them. It's unlikely. And even if it is, it's a very minor amount, but every little bit adds up over time, you know? All right, Poseidon, be here and say things.
Did you do it, niece? Strange things have happened since the other night. Good things if you're not one of our enemies. We think perhaps you cut old Kronos down to size, but he just grows right back, as I recall.
All right, let's see. At the start of the encounter, attacks and specials are stronger for 10 seconds. That could be good. We could burst through a boss phase, I suppose. I don't think it's good enough to really want it. I probably just take his special. Although, honestly, High Surf isn't bad. It will interrupt enemies that are trying to attack. A little bit more damage on the special isn't bad, but could also save it for Hestia and get another way to apply Scorch. I think I'm going to start with High Surf here. It interrupts enemies that try to attack, which can give us an extra layer of survivability, so I think it's worth it. Apollo or Echo, we take Echo at this point. Apollo has some nice boons, but not enough to warrant going for him. Apollo's another god where I feel like his secondary boons fall off pretty heavily, but he has probably the best. He has the best legendary in the game, in my opinion. It's so fun.
A welcome sight. A welcome sight.
I won't spoil what it does until we unlock it in this playthrough, but trust me, when we get it, it's going to be such a fun run.
I know you didn't always speak this way, without the full use of your voice, but you possess such strength despite the change. My words, perhaps, but the intent is yours. My words, but the intent is yours. My words, but the intent is yours.
I don't know why, but that line is kind of beautiful in the way it is written. My words, but the intent is yours. All right. Ooh, okay, so either get another boon of Poseidon, get a boon from last night, or replenish a Death Defiance. And I think we do that. It'll lower our damage, but we need as much survivability on a build like this. Yeah, so we'll take that.
See you next time.
That does deactivate Strength because Strength is only active when we have no Death Defiances left, but I'm okay with that because... Ooh, there's our second hammer and coin. Okay, we're going to definitely go with this route. I would really love to see more God Boons, though, but I'm not going to complain about a hammer, and it's at the right at the start of the run, too, or room. Go ahead and activate the Golden Bow while I'm passing through. There's another giant armored Lycaean, which is very spooky. All right. I'm just trying my hardest to kite around enemies and not get caught in anything, which is easier said than done, but I mean, objectively speaking, I am going to take a lot of damage against Cerberus, most likely, so playing a little safe here to guarantee a better boss room definitely feels like the optimized plan here. This Lamia needs to go because I am sick of her shenanigans, and there we go. Okay, let's see what we get. Still no Trick Knives, sadly. Let's see. Sweeping Ambush. Your Omega attack deals 400% damage in a wider area, but uses 20 more magic. That actually could be really strong for us, given how I had intended to play. And I will definitely play that way against Cerberus and Kronos, which are objectively the scariest things. Alternatively, though, attacks are 35% faster could be really good. Dancing Knives, your specials deal 15% damage, and each hit bounces towards up to two more foes. That could also give us a really good ranged option for rooms, but I think objectively speaking, I like Sweeping Ambush. It adds a ton of mana consumption, but we're always going to be next to enemies because of how the Omega attack works, so I think it'll work out for us. Darn it, there goes our armor. I can't believe I lost it to like the weakest enemy in the room. That feels bad. I got thrown off because Poseidon's, High Surf got activated and it got knocked back, so I thought I was safe, but it had armor. There was no, you can't hit stun an enemy with armor, you know? Oh well, oh well. Let us see.
Incoming.
I'm gonna end up bringing these guys into the fight, so I may as well take them out now. All right, let's see how much more damage this does. It missed. Okay, that is a good sign for things to come. 625 damage on the Omega attack is actually really solid damage, actually. Okay, I like this. It scales beautifully with all the other boons. The one downside is we may not have a reliable way to get origination before we activate it. But I have to also keep in mind that I do have a chance of critting, which will make the attack do 3 times more damage. Crits are really strong. Almost got knocked out of Shameless Attitude there, but we still have it for a little bit longer, thankfully. Okay. Take out these last couple enemies, and then unless they give us something really tempting, magic is not tempting at all. Restore 38 HP. It's only 28 coin for that. I think both of these are really appealing, especially going into Cerberus. Python skills, we take 10% less damage for 5 encounters. That'll last us through Cerberus, great. And then restore 38 HP. There's definitely some wasted money, but we can still afford 2 god boons off of that. So I think that was worth it. I think that was objectively worth it. Plus, there's usually a prophecy associated with buying out the shop, if I recall. Poseidon, piss off. I don't want you. All right. I still think, I think base attack is better here, so 15% more damage on the attack, love to see it. Poseidon will still take you even if I don't want you. He's trying to offer us a trade for his attack. Oh, okay, you never mind, Poseidon, you win. Water fitness, gain max HP for every water boon you have. This is gonna give us 60 HP. That's actually worth more than a Centaur heart. That's amazing. His attack actually isn't bad on paper with Linenoros because it scales really well with a fast attacking weapon like the sister blades, but water fitness is better, and we've built around the Omega attack, which does not benefit from that Poseidon boon. Our hammers are just not really well suited to that sort of playstyle. All right.
You'll soon feel better.
So we dash through him, we drop an attack, I charge this up, and then I dash behind him. Ooh, that was a 2K crit. Okay, that felt good. I'm gonna bail out here. All right, so you know what? Maybe we are actually good here. I just have to be really careful about getting hit by his attack, and I do need to. Our magic regen boon is actually not that good, as it turns out. We are not regenerating magic very quickly. So I do need to be careful about the fact that my Omega attack uses 30 magic. Ooh, that was spooky. All right, we do have very solid DPS though. We have a lot of damage buff boons, I guess. Between Shameless Attitude, Origination, I guess it's not a boon, but Origination, we don't have Strength yet, but we get a crit like that with Origination active, we're gonna be doing so much damage. All right, gonna try and kill this thing as quick as possible. There we go, excellent. Okay, this is good, this is very good for us. Drop my cast, I think he's in the cast circle, I'm not actually sure. Now he's definitely not. Whoop. So the one thing that I have to remember about Omega attacks in general is that if you dash while they are charging up, they don't go off. I will admit, this feels a little janky just because I can't seem to reliably hit enemies with it all the time. You're gonna start casting fire, but I used iframes on the dash there, or on the cast there to get through it. I will, whenever possible, always take that Omega cast gives iframes because I use it so much defensively. It's such a good boon for my playstyle. It lets me face tank a little bit more than I necessarily should. We've got big scary AoE bombs. I'm gonna just bail out of the range of that, and you're gonna use your fire breath inevitably. Nope, you're dashing, okay, good. Turn around and give me a free attack. Nope, okay, now you're gonna use your fire breath. Oh. Okay, it does seem like without an Apollo attack, the Omega attack is maybe a little less accurate, especially on mobile targets, which is a downside to it, but Honestly,
Shades, leave him alone.
this is mostly just me learning how to use this weapon better, and we have a very strong build, especially going into Chronos.
Resourceful underworld princess somehow soothes the savage beast.
You know what would be really good right now? Probably the best thing we could get with the current gods we have is Hestia's boon that makes us deal more damage to single targets.
Feel better, Cerberus.
Like when there's only one target on the field, it'll make us do at least 15% more damage, I think.
Having quelled the fury of the fearsome triple-headed monster Cerberus, the princess of the dead stands poised to delve into the pits of Tartarus, where waits her lifelong foe.
Like
We're
that.
now so close, aren't we?
I bet that would be really good for us. Also, I haven't thought about it, but how did the good shade make it all the way from Elysium to the Morning Fields? I think there's a fair bit of distance between those two places.
You're always here, good shade.
Well, nevertheless, we greet the good shade for good RNG against our final boss.
Now then.
All right, so we are in Tartarus. Eris is inevitably going to show up, and I probably do not prioritize taking bonus rooms unless there's something really tempting, like a really good god boon I could stand to benefit from. And even then, that means there's going to be a mini boss in the way, and I don't know if I want to risk the giant money sack boss, because he will destroy me with this build, I think.
Such an infernal racket around here.
Like, if I can break his armor, we're fine. Yeah, there you are, Eris. Hooray.
Oh, I'd love to slow you down with a delightful chat. I think this will get the job done even better. Oopsie.
I don't appreciate this, Eris.
I really do wish she went back to giving us Grasp, but oh well, or Psyche, but whatever. Let's see. So we start off with 20%, right? Yep, okay, 20% more damage taken for every encounter. We get 5% more.
Realign.
I think we'll be okay. I do actually think we'll be okay right now. I just need to be mindful of the damage we take. I ran right into that trap and then dashed out of it. I think it's worth mentioning, I kind of alluded to this a little bit in the previous episode, but these chambers that you press through Tartarus are largely reused assets. The shapes of the rooms are reminiscent of some of the rooms that we fought in Hades 1. Some rooms more than others, but this one definitely looks familiar too. It's just really funny. Like, not all rooms are the same, I will say that. Like, it's not all reused assets. And obviously there are a lot of new assets, the golden colors, the Chronos-themed towers, and that sort of thing. But, I mean, even some of the enemies here, like, these guys are based on the numbskulls that we fought all the time in Hades 1, like one of the most common enemy types in the early game. And we definitely have the axe-wielding wretches that are prone to causing us a pretty hefty hit if we get caught in it. These skulls are a little bit annoying because they teleport out as soon as they are minorly inconvenienced by our presence. All right.
Taking the longer route.
We won't get, because this isn't an encounter, encounters are just fights, so bosses or minions. We can go ahead and take this room.
Three-headed Cerberus permits none approach, neither him nor his master.
Cerberus is not feeling like a good, he's still a good boy. He's absolutely best boy, but he's having a rough time right now. We don't pet a dog that says no. That's first lesson about dogs and pets in general is don't pet them if they say no. Just like you wouldn't pet a person if they said no. You might not even pet a person if they said yes, but still.
I know not how you withstood the Titan if truly you confronted him. Quickly now, tell me about this. Have you been... Are you well?
Well.
Why, well... All my life, I've been preparing for this moment, to bring the usurper of the House of Hades to justice. So, I'll have to get back to you, depending on how it goes.
I do think this is like a really important conversation here, particularly the thing that Hades just said, because in the context of Hades 1, they really did make him feel a little bit softer here, and not in a bad way, just he cares about his children. He knows that the situation is bad and that his daughter that he's barely gotten to know he's finally meeting her, and she's in the situation where she can't possibly be having a good time, right? But he still cares enough to ask, despite his situation, are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Get back to me if you must. I'd grant your vengeance if I could. But this is all that I can do for now.
And you can feel and hear, like, the delivery on the I'm sorry is so good because it really emphasizes the fact that Hades feels like he is to blame for the situation and the suffering that his daughter has had to go through because of lingering familial problems. All right, let's see. Deal more damage based on how many times you've used Death Defiance. Your dash strikes foes around it with a punishing sweep that inflicts Scorn or Howling Soul. A projectile for our cast would not be bad here because it would let us keep a distance while we're charging up our Omega attack, but Gigaro's dash sounds really fun, and it'll up our damage even further. So your dash strikes surrounding foes with a punishing sweep that inflicts Scorn, which is a curse from Hades that makes 30% attack and special damage, increases your special and attack damage against enemies, increased by 30%, lasts for 10 seconds. We're basically going to have that on at all times since we're going to be using our dash strike pretty often.
Go.
Especially against the rando enemies. All right, and it looks like it kind of moves with us. It's a pretty sizable AoE, actually. Okay, I like that. That's one of the Hades boons that I've used the least in my personal playthrough. Not because it's bad, just because I have not been offered it in opposition to potentially a more suitable boon for the run that I am having. It doesn't show up when I could use it more beneficially. Oop. I do need to be careful about these coin sacks because they do a ton of damage. I wonder if this Scorn counts as a boon for a curse for origination. I think it probably does, honestly. It's listed as a curse, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. Which is cool. I'm glad they gave Hades his own little... It's basically the same curse that was the passive for the Spear of Hades in Hades 1. So I think that's really cool. It's a nice touch. More coin. I do want that more coin. We're at 35% more damage taken. I think we're good. Especially because if we can at least net neutral on the damage taken from the damage mitigation on weak, I'm fine here. All right, you guys are really annoying, just tossing out your attacks from a distance. So I'm gonna go for them first. Yeah, our Omega attack chunks. The only downside again is that I can't use it while casting, and it does seem to be a little bit inaccurate if the enemy even moves slightly, which does not admittedly feel great. But when it hits hard, yeah. All right, there we go. Okay, Mini-Boss Apollo does not appeal to me. I mean, again, we made an argument that there is one boon he could offer that isn't bad, but it's not enough to warrant a Mini-Boss. We mentioned before, like, the Vermomancer I'm fine with. The Giant Coin Stack could absolutely ruin the run, just because he has some attacks that, actually, maybe he wouldn't be that bad, because I could probably get behind him very easily with this build. I wait for him to charge up his attack, and he probably won't be able to turn fast enough to actually be able to hit me. Maybe I should have risked it. We have so much damage, I probably would have melted his armor too. Oh well. If we get another mini-boss, we'll litmus test, I guess. Admittedly, the Scorch on this build doesn't do a lot of damage. It's only 40 damage a second, but even then, it's more important for just getting origination on and having some damage on the cast at base. The cast initially does not actually do damage until you get a God Boot on it, unless you use your Omega attack. Your Omega cast, rather, does have some base damage on it. But I really don't use the Omega cast outside of very specific builds focused on the Omega cast.
Marble.
All right, good. We got some nice resources here. Let's see, do we get another bonus chamber? We do not. I mean, there's still a chance we could be offered one more bonus chamber still, but it seems unlikely here. Just need to be careful not to get caught in the time zones. I wonder if that's actually what they're called here. Ooh, geez, you hit for 13. Okay. The damage that enemies deal is definitely adding up, but we won't have to deal with trash mobs much longer. I really like the playstyle. I will admit, like, oh wow, you have a lot of AoE on that attack. I did not realize that was a mistake on my part. Shoot, we lost Shameless Attitude, unfortunately. Or rather, we lost half of Shameless Attitude. I really do appreciate that they made it not just when you're above a threshold. I like the risk-reward nature of that, but there's always reward no matter what. Ooh, Aphrodite there. We could get a huge HP up. I do think it's worth doing this. This is going to be super risky, especially because we lost a 7% or 10% damage up. We did get Vermomancer, which is huge for us. Man, the Omega attack did not actually go off there, even though I was facing him. Unfortunate. Oh, you know what? High Surf is actually DPSing this guy, is popping his minions when they go to attack. I didn't realize that was such a potent counter to him. Good. Well, we could use everything in our corner that we could get. All right. We should be able to hit stun him to death now. He does infinitely spawn these rats, but or these vermin, but we're fine. I think we got him. Let's finish him off with the Omega attack, and pop goes the Vermomancer. Excellent. Okay, that was a good fight. That was exactly how I wanted it to go. Healthy rebound. Are we above 70% HP? Kiwi, quick, Matt, give me numbers. Although Secret Crush is actually very tempting, but there is a limitation to how much magic I should prime here. Because if I prime 20, I would be able to do 2 Omega attacks unimpeded, actually. Healthy Rebound could bring us back up to full and get that pop. Let's see. Pardon me, I am not pulling out a calculator. I am doing some very, very strong, potent, capable of Jeff is very capable. Mental math, 126 divided by 195 is equal to 65%. Darn, we are just below the threshold. If we get a Centaur Heart, let me see, let me think about that. If we got a Centaur Heart, would that change things? So let's see, that would be 151 divided by 195, or what would that be? 220. That would be almost 70%. So basically, the only way Healthy Rebound helps us here is if we somehow manage to get an HP restore from Charon's shop, and it's not common that he offers those. Oh, hey. I just noticed that I can rarefy this. Okay, we're taking Secret Crush.
My pleasure.
+9 base damage on the attack doesn't sound like a lot until you actually see the numbers roll.
Is just ahead.
Ooh, those palms are tempting. I think we have enough damage. I don't want to take the increased damage on this build when I think I have enough. Oh, we would have gotten the HP. Ah, unfortunate. All right, we don't take that Hermes boon. I think we take the HP first, and then we do have enough to afford the 2 Apollo boons.
Hear me, on my authority.
Let's see, Nova Strike, Nova Special, Self-Healing. Okay, so here's our second infusion boon of the run. Again, I mentioned before, infusion boons are insanely potent. While you have at least 3 fire, which we have 4 of, whenever you take damage, restore 30% over 5 seconds. That gives us so much extra survivability, because I'm going to be dashing out anyway, so that healing should happen. And then our last boon of the run, Warm Breeze. Whenever your dodge or daze causes a foe to miss, restore some HP. Alternatively, Backburner. I honestly think Backburner sounds more appealing here. We've got enough survivability. I feel pretty confident about that. So let's take Backburner here, get the 50% increased backstab damage.
Excellent.
Oh, does that only apply to dazed enemies? Oh yeah, it's only to dazed enemies, but we just have to dash near Kronos, and we can definitely do that. All right, let's salute Charon on the way down.
Moonlight guide you, my lord.
All right, Kiwi. This feels much better than the last attempt. Let's hope that it actually is.
Refreshing.
All right, Sandpappy, what have you got for us today?
You were never meant to be involved in this, granddaughter. You must have been a mere babe when first I arrived here. Alas, too late to meet. Yet even now, you are too young to understand.
I would have been imprisoned with the rest. Though enlighten me. What is it that I'm still too young to understand?
Honestly, it would have been a cool turn of events if Kronos did capture Mel, if he still ended up raising her as like his own. That would have been a really interesting like alternate time. Like that would be really cool for Supergiant. Like everyone wants DLC for Hades 2. We don't know if we're ever gonna get it, but imagine a DLC in an alternative timeline where Mel does get captured by Kronos, raised as his own, and then you play as Zagreus against Mel and Kronos is like this little DLC package. That would be a really cool idea.
You are too young to understand the disappointment and dejection that only family can provide. But the more of us you meet, the more of us you know, the sooner you shall learn.
Kronos is so sour about being turned on by his family, and rightly so. Like it's not inappropriate for those feelings, you know? If nothing else, he was kind of torn apart, scattered to pieces, and like abandoned by his family. Granted, the reasons for them doing so seem largely justifiable overall, I would argue. Use my cast to get out of that. Turn around, Kronos. All right, let's see. Oh, he cleared. I forgot. He clears debuffs or curses when he is. He clears debuffs whenever he teleports. All I care is that he does not waste time the way Hades does, where he goes darkness and then disappears forever. There was a nice 2100 crit. We're on our, what, 7th run, and we are critting for 2100. I think we saw a 2200 earlier, though, so objectively speaking, we could be doing even more damage. All right, he's got a shield on him. I'm going to bail out, try and pop that shield, bring him to me. Don't really like being in the ring with him, so let's bail out, kill this shield spawner. What I think it was called banners. All right, this is, well, I missed my cast. That's awkward. Oh, got pulled into that from behind. Yeah, I have to admit that the Omega attack on this weapon does feel maybe a little janky at times. Okay, let's see what our numbers are. 736, didn't get the crit. We only have a 10% crit chance, so that's to be expected. We'll just keep going for backstabs here since we were in a good position to do so. 1800, nice, nice. Love to see it. We have a lot of damage. I'm glad I just went with the more damage up. Your coin sacks are not really a threat here, Kronos. Your little, okay. Boom. I will, like, here's the issue with the Omega attack. It's not just that it doesn't always reliably land on enemies. It also just seems, the auto tracking for where you want to aim seems a little bit unreliable too. It may be the sort of weapon that benefits from playing mouse and keyboard, admittedly. But we've got first phase done. That was probably one of the cleanest Linen Oros runs I've ever had for this build.
You possess some of your father's strength. Or rather, mine.
We just need a little bit more meta progression to make things work. This is probably a little dicey. I got greedy for the damage, but I did make it work. Okay, we need to stand near him so I can get some magic back. Oops. Bail out here because we don't want to get hit. Almost got enough magic. Get out of here. I thought I was going to get hit by something. Dash through that. Okay, good. I'm going to apply Scorn. I'm going to apply as many curses as I can so that we get origination going. All right, let's see how much we can do here. Or, huh. I would really love to see a crit. We're not gonna get it. We're never gonna get it. All right, oh, we face him. So I don't think this attack goes, this big AoE glowing screen attack actually doesn't go off if you phase him fast enough. That cheeky dodge with the imperviousness from, what was it called, from my cast was pretty funny there. Like, I didn't even try to dodge, I just tossed out my cast. And again, like, I will maintain, the cast is so good. That one Arcana is probably my favorite Arcana next to Strength. Strength card is objectively insane. It really entices you to a fun risk-reward sort of build. But having just a reliable source of invulnerability, I'm in a really bad spot. Yeah, okay, so here's the one downside. We did not have a lot of magic primed. I am at risk of losing my Death Defiance. I don't really want to, so I'm gonna play a teensy bit safer. Not a whole lot safer, mind you. Just enough. Oh, that was the last bit of, we're on Strength card now. I don't know if I want to risk getting hit by that. Ooh. Is he bugged? Is he just, okay, for a second I thought he was just stuck there. Oh, he died to Scorch. Oops. Oops, he wasn't paying attention.
You gods learn nothing from the past. Recklessly changed everything to suit your whim.
Okay, so lesson learned. I think what I do in the future for this kind of build is build Apollo's attack because it does seem a little bit inaccurate, and more AoE on the attack from Apollo Boon passives might make it more reliable.
You're the one who's learned nothing, despite all the time you've had to think on it.
Oh, on the contrary, I know change is inevitable with time. The only question is, which sort? But time cannot be stopped.
I mean, we can probably, I haven't tested it. Can we pause in his fight? I imagine we can. I know in the,
What did I tell you?
I know in early access, if you paused, he would unpause, which was really funny. Caught a lot of people off guard, unfortunately. All right, so how do we honor this run? So objectively speaking, bulk of our damage was on the attack, but we had so many damage modifiers. We had, where is it? Final Slice. We had Shameless Attitude. We had Shadow Pounce. We had, I don't care about that. Sweeping Ambush. Igoro Stash. And then Secret Crush. And I guess Backburner. So we had so many damage up modifiers on our Omega attack. Granted, Final Slice wasn't one of them, but it still felt really good to get the like 700 damage on our final hit of the combo. And the attack combo came out pretty fast, so it was fairly reliable. It would be less reliable if enemies attacked faster. But yeah, a very solid Linen Oros and a nice redemption arc to our previous attempt.
Zodiac Sand. Such power.
We're 2 runs away from having all the sand we need, actually, for the dissolution of time incantation.
The gutted grand hall of the former House of Hades eerily lies still. Knowing the immortal Titan shall return, the Dark Princess pursues an object that may be the key to her predicament.
It should be in the prince's chamber still.
All right. Let us go say hi to our brother, Ziggle Zaggle. Belgian Melanois says hello to Ziggle Zaggle.
Okay. To the abyss of the subconscious, I descend.
Like, my brain has bastardized Melanoe's name so badly. Melanoe.
And darkness, guide me to my blood beyond the grasp of time.
For some reason, the pronunciation on Mel's name is a little bit it throws me off a little bit. It's Melinoe, but I want to call her Melanoe. But it like everyone in the game says Melinoe, so I have to train myself to do that.
Come on, where is she? Where is she? Don't leave me hanging like this, sister. Come on. I want to get some proper sleep eventually.
Brother.
Hey.
Hello.
Gargaros, my father's spear. You said we would need a weapon that's available in both our times, is close to our family, and not been used to slay Kronos before. That one should do. It's big, and it hurts.
I appreciate that we start talking about Gigaros after having a run where we had Gigaros Dash.
I see how that may work. Unfortunately, I have no idea where to find this Gygaros. Kronos may have gotten hold of it. But that's in my time. While in yours...
Father doesn't often let me use it anyway, and it's sealed off in his chambers. There must be something else. Though at least I found the place where Kronos probably is piecing himself back together little by little.
You did? Where? What happened? How do you know it's the correct location?
Well, for one thing, it appears to be directly underneath this house. Odd place to bury one's predecessor, but Father can be quite particular with punishments. Anyway, when I descended deeper into Tartarus, I found a satyr infestation that led me to some sort of cave. I went no farther for now.
Good. And do not enter until everything's prepared. But let's go back a moment to our father's spear. Is there somewhere you could procure it?
Sure. Father keeps it locked away, though no security specialist of any worth would be so easily deterred. I'm risking an eternity of torment, but sounds like Kronos has that in store for me regardless. So, what shall I do with Gygaros, assuming I can get my hands on it?
I love how Zagreus is just so confident he can break into his father's chambers and steal his spear, because we absolutely proved in the previous game that we could.
Leave it here in your chambers for me to find. Could you persuade our father to give it to you, without letting him know exactly why? If we tamper too much with time, Kronos shall find out. I don't need its physical form, only its essence sent across our astral psychic gateway.
And this is another situation that I really appreciate because we are at the point in at least Hades 1 lore for where Zagreus is at this time, where he could ask his father to borrow the spear and likely get an okay on it, although probably some biting questions on the way.
Details, sister. I like unreasonable challenges, and Father owes me anyway. So use some sort of oracle gathering up ancient artifacts, speaking to me in dreams and such. Perhaps these count as nightmares, what with the terrible future to look forward to.
Nope, just a witchy doing her witchy business.
We'll change that future. And I'm no oracle, I'm what you call a witch. We're getting closer to our goal, brother. Claim Father's spear, and I have more to do myself. I'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
From mists of memory, return to Shadow now.
Yeah, so maybe in the next episode I'll just kind of expound on all the bastardized names I have for all the characters in the two games.
Be careful.
Because I've definitely made some choices that I might regret.
Glad to be back here with you. But it's a new night now.
I love Frino so much. He's so cute. Oh, Kiwi, the Supergiant uploaded a custom a bit of art from one of their artists for Christmas, and Phrynos is the Christmas tree. He's holding a star on top, and it's really cute because Eris is just like, oh, I want that star. Her eyes are glowing with the star, and she's like, Nemesis is like holding her back from stealing the star. I think it's a really funny bit of art. I really liked it.
The modestly appointed tent of fierce Princess Melinoe nonetheless is dutifully organized and immaculately clean.
Also, please appreciate the photo up here. It's definitely, there's a painting on top of there of Phrynos, and it looks like Phrynos has lips for some reason. Like, I presume it's just his mouth is open, but it looks like he has lips, right? It's not just me, right? It reminds me of a photo we actually have of Chroma, our black kitty. She had lips once. It was weird.
One of these nights you ought to ask Headmistress how she got this from the house. See you later. Arachne.
Oh, hey.
Good evening. Oh, hello there, my friend. I happened to see the boatman sculling down the Cocytus, presumably to you, for he had all sorts of supplies. He was generous enough to offer me passage, whether he knew it or not.
He probably knew it, Arachne. I feel like Charon's rather aware of things around him.
Great to see you here, and welcome, Arachne. I'm certain Charon doesn't mind such a courteous stowaway. Is there anything we can do to make your stay with us more comfortable?
No, thank you. I don't intend to be here very long, especially since the boatman is my ticket home. I'll just make certain all my silk here is patched up and then be on my way. Be well, won't you?
You too.
All right, let's see. What have we got?
Something new here.
Familiar confidant. The daughter of the god of the dead shall confide in the amphibious ally by her tent on no fewer than 6 different nights. Thereafter, many more. You know, I completely forgot that this was the prerequisite to unlocking familiars in this game. I'm just petting Phrynos out of principle because if you've watched anything about my Hades 1 playthrough, you know that I always pet the dog.
A matter of time.
And we got a bunch of nectar for that. And then we got the Invoker. The daughter of the god of the dead shall cast 10 incantations from the Crossroads Cauldron. And get 25 grasp for, what is it? Is it grasp or is it psyche? I get them mixed up.
Looks like I did it.
One is at the altar of ash. One is the actual resource, but I can't keep them straight in my head. Alrighty, let's go say goodnight to everyone else.
Finally returned. You prevailed in your attempt, but our enemy is time itself. And would seem that he is not prepared to abdicate his stolen throne as yet.
I often fought back feelings that this task would be impossible. But we're getting somewhere, aren't we?
Impossibility tends to be transient. Time would wear us down, but with patience, we can withstand him until our night arrives at last.
Patience, then.
I like there are so many good lines in these games, but I like the line particularly, impossibility is transient. All right, what have we got?
My own way to the surface.
Still no
Altar can be
keepsake.
purified.
Still no option for keepsakes. Maybe if we unlock this, we might be able to get that. Let's see. So let's see what we can do. We don't have a way of getting shadow, so I won't read this one yet. Consecration of Ashes. Enhance the Altar of Ashes so you can unlock the potential of your Arcana. Grants 3 moon dust. I don't know if I even really need to unlock this just yet, because while it is great, it upgrades a bunch of passives that will make our run stronger, I'm not likely going to have the resources for it. Woodsea Lifespring. Reveal a hidden glade in Erebus where you may restore some HP amid the gloom. Infused with moonlight, some fresh water seeps from high above down to Erebus. I think I will take that.
Askion Kataski.
Interesting.
Because no matter what, a little bit of HP can go a long way. And if we unlock the earlier ones, I think we unlock the later ones soon enough.
I need pure shadow to permeate the surface wards.
Okay, so we can make shadow. We can make shadow extraction now, which I guess may be worth considering, but I don't think I use my psyche for this, especially because we can't even clear the upper floor just yet. But permeation of winching wards is how we unlock a new area. More on that when we unlock it. Let's go ahead and take Empath's Intuition. Update the Book of Shadows with insight into relationship status with one's acquaintances. If not even the deathless gods can fully understand the needs of others, what hope do mortals have?
As I would know our enemy, I too would know my heart.
So mote it be. You know what, I will take the other one, but we need another Fade Fabric for it. I may as well take it, you know?
Just checking up on you.
They're expensive, but they're not unreasonably expensive. We keep buying Psyche here until we don't need it any further, I believe. All right, Consecration of Ashes. Enhance the Altar of Ashes so that you can unlock the potential of your Arcana. I already read this. Let's go ahead and unlock it.
O altar of ashes beneath which I stand, fulfill your purpose that I know firsthand. So mote it be.
Okay. And we completed a prophecy in the action of that. Weight in gold. The daughter of the god of the dead shall redeem 5, whatever those credit cards worth of Charon's gold rewards. Oh, right. It's called Charon's gold rewards card. I remember. That's from Hades 1. All right, 150 bones for that. Cool. We'll probably buy some stuff for the Altar of Ashes, but I might save that for the next episode. We've still got more dialogue, and we're getting pretty long into the episode.
All grown up.
Go ahead and plant everything we can, because we're going to be constantly in need of more plants.
Death to Kronos.
Do you have any idea how far down you have to go to get to Tartarus? Cause of death falling. Relevant. You know what, Hypnos? You are right. You could use some nectar to help you sleep more tightly.
May you have pleasant dreams for as long as you slumber. And if and when you finally wake, know that this nectar shall be waiting for you.
I'm hopeful I said Hypnos there, because there's a part of me that is worried I may have said Kronos.
Welcome to the...
I appreciate that he's dreaming about his previous dialogue.
Wait, welcome to the what?
The House of Hades.
You keep the headmistress in pleasant company. She's an important job to do.
And again, we pet all the pets. It's very important that we do so.
So, there's a bit of a new wrinkle in our plans. We've been able to verify some of the details that Master Hermes suggested to you about what's brewing on the surface.
Please tell me what you may. And if you think it wise for me to deviate from my objective to address whatever's going on up there.
The forces of Kronos gather to sail on Olympus through a channel cut across the land. You're poised to disrupt the enemy ranks from within. Aid Olympus, and your chances against Kronos may improve.
The warded pathway leading up should drop me right into the heart of our foe's forward garrison. It seems so reckless.
Call it a calculated risk.
Well said. It is absolutely a risk. The new area is a lot harder than the underworld, I would argue.
How long has it been since you visited the surface?
Too long. Cooped up here now in case you hadn't noticed. But it's a lost cause anyway. Why do you ask?
Hermes requested that I pay a visit when I can. Wanted to know what to expect.
Bad things, probably.
Like I said, the dead are out and about up there thanks to our Titan friend. You'll feel right at home.
Sounds great.
It sure does. I do look forward to starting to go to the overworld. It's going to be a fun little bash, but I'm probably going to lose several runs up there compared to the underworld. I feel like the underworld, until I get more
The Arcana.
until I get more fear going, I probably won't have too much issue with the underworld. Insights unlocked. You may now use Moondust to unlock the full potential of each of your Arcana cards. Using the Altar, press X to switch to Insights, which looks really cool. It's really pretty here. Anyway, can we not... I guess we need more resources to unlock some of these things. I don't know if there's anything I want to waste my... or not necessarily waste, but use my Moondust on yet. So I'm going to sit on that, I think. But do we have enough grass to upgrade this? Let's see. We do not. Honestly, I may go and do that Shadow Incantation, honestly. Well...
What's that one do?
Let's see. What do I do here? It wants us to unlock the Moonstone Axe. Unfortunately, I did use up all of our silver again for an incantation, so we can't do that. So I think in the next episode, we'll go for that testament. We'll go for that testament that we're owed with this staff.
I try not to dwell on what shall happen if and when all this is finally over, Commander. I know I ought to be completely focused on the task, but as we near a potential end, I cannot help but think ahead.
Well, stop it. How many times have I told you, never think ahead, kiddo? No good is ever gonna come of that. The here and now is all that counts.
Don't think, just run face first into your problems and get as much damage as possible. I get it, Skelly, you are my guy.
You're truly saying one should never plan, but you're a commander. Anticipation and strategy are integral to martial leadership.
If you're always doing good right now, you're always doing good later. That's all there is to it. Now quit with your worrying.
Yeah, see, Kiwi, Skelly and I, we get it. You need to figure this out. You don't need a plan. You just have to be good from the start and just keep doing good or doing well.
Okay.
I totally respect planning in advance of things. You are way more calculated than I am, Kiwi, and I think you're a good balance. You make the plans, I do the things, and it's a very good balance.
Within the haunted crossroads reside shades and spirits of all sorts, some resembling their mortal selves, and others rendered down to purest essences.
I would argue that we're both the brains of the operation. You're just more brains than I am.
You all right, Homer?
Nay.
All right, Kiwi, that's enough for one episode, so I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. Next time on Dragon Ball Mel Z. I don't know where I'm going with this. I love you, Kiwi. I hope you're sleeping well. And if you're but I'm tired, Kiwi. The coffee has not kicked in. Rest well. I'll see you in the next one. I love you. Bye.